were you a fan of the original Roger Corman piece when you?
I never saw the movie. Now I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I never got to see it, you know. And I mentioned it to Paul, and he said, "Don't worry too much about that. Try not to see it till we finish the movie." He didn't want to sort of have too much of a. I don't know. He just didn't want to muddy the water, you know. He said, "We're making our own film here. This is I'm inspired by this great film. I don't think it's important that you see it."
So which came first? Was it the idea that they were going to do a remake and then they contacted you, or was it like kind of a together with you got to make this film then?
Universal were making a picture, and Paul had been wanted to make the picture for 10 years, so it's like the longest birth he's ever suffered. And it's funny because his wife was pregnant at the time that we was making this film, so it was like having two babies, you know, the birth of his death race and the birth of his little baby girl. So yeah, I just got a phone call, and you know, I wanted to meet Paul. I knew they were making a film, and we had a great meeting, and next thing you know, you're in Montreal filming it.
Behind a wheel of this crazy car. I mean, like, what was it like the first time you got in there, and did you drive it around, or was he like?
Yeah, they were all a bit nervous the day I got into that, because you know, they've heard about my gung-ho, very heavy right foot for the accelerator. So I think they were a little nervous because there's not a lot of safety. Well, there's not a lot of vision.
Exactly.
It doesn't create much of a safe sort of environment to drive. But yeah, I think they were a little nervous, and rightly so.
This film kind of takes this driving race thing to another level. I mean, you get to see things where I can see it. I haven't seen in other films with cars and stuff like that. So when you were, how collaborative is the creative element? Do you have any input in these things, or was it just something like, okay, this is what you're going to do in this scene? And I mean, is there any part that you can throw into?
I mean, Paul has it so dialed in that, you know, it's no point in trying to better his vision, because he's got it so clear cut. You know, in terms of the fights, you know, it's something I hold very close to my heart, and so, you know, if it doesn't feel, you know, like I should throw a right, I'll say no. What about that? You know, it's an organic process. You know, I think that a collaboration when it comes to action is very important for, you know, someone who gets stuck in as much as I do. You need to feel comfortable. So the fighting aspect is something that I do get involved with. The cars are very much Paul and the second unit people.
Now, at this point in your career, we've seen you in so many films where you're so physical, and so is there anything that you haven't done yet that you want to try?
I don't think I've really sort of reached my peak I mean, I want to do like a great fight movie. I think I've just been jabbing and jabbing, and I'm just waiting to throw the right, you know. I just haven't had my day yet with doing what I would deem as my great. This is me at my best, you know. I don't think I've hit that yet.
And physically, though, in the film, you looked quite. Was it the most fit that you were ever?
Yeah.
Was it the most fit that you were ever, or is there versions of? I mean, what is
it's the lightest I've been. I was definitely carrying not a lot of body fat. Yeah.
And then, so it must be interesting for an actor who now people go to if they want to make an action film. It's like your name is definitely on this list of people.
Yeah. Who's this guy who's stupid enough to do this? Oh yes, Jason.
Has it been interesting for you the past couple of years? Is it surreal at this point, or are you kind of like getting used to this?
No, I like it. I like it that I'm on the list. I like it that I'm working, you know, it's great.
And to be a British actor to kind of like come here and do that in Hollywood.
Yeah, it makes it even more impressive for the folks at home. So, how the hell did you get it?
Now, we know you so well because you were in Transporter with a lot of our, you know, and you also work with Jet Li, and so you work with our Asian actors quite a bit. And so, did you learn anything from them during those years that you kind of?
Well, they're the biggest inspiration I've ever had in action movies. I mean, you can't get a bigger Bruce Lee fan than myself, and you know, Jackie Chan and Jet Li and, you know, Tony Jaa. These are the real deal. They're the people that I really look up to, and you know. They're what keep me sort of motivated to see movies like that, you know, because these are the guys that do their own stuff. You know, there's no stunt doubles there. There's no camera trickery. It's like, yeah, you know, these are long pieces. They're long enough takes that you see, that's the guy. He's really doing that. You know, you see a lot of the big action movies now that it's all CG. You don't know who's doing what. You know, it's very impressive and it looks good, but you know, I can never ever go, my God, that guy is really something else. There's been no one apart from the Asian guys that have made me impressed.
So does that make you want to be in a film with these people to make
Yeah.
a film like that?
I
Are
want
you
to
working
make
on
a
anything
movie with
like that?
Jackie Chan.
Are you or
No,
are
I'd
you?
love to make a movie with Jackie Chan. You know, I love, you know, I get to work with Corey Ewan, who's an amazing action choreographer, and he was, you know, my first experience of doing a fight movie was with Corey. So, you know, the way they make movies is, it's very, very different, and it's so fast, it's so good. I'd love to continue that in the pursuit of doing my big one.
If anybody can make it happen, I'm sure you could do it. Just
Well, maybe soon. We'll
Thanks.
try.
Thanks.